One bright morning, the homeowner found a neatly folded note tucked in their mailbox. The writing was careful and precise, showing the effort Karen had put into her grievance. "Dear neighbor," it began, "I hope you're well. I wanted to let you know that the lights from your house are very bright and they ruin my sleep." The homeowner furrowed their brow as they read on. Karen, who lived 2 doors down, had always been direct about her feelings. This time, however, her words struck a nerve. The lights had been part of their home's charm, shining brightly in various colors each evening. It was their personal touch that made the house feel warm and inviting. As thoughts swirled in the homeowner's mind, they felt torn between wanting to respect their neighbors' wishes and preserving the joyful atmosphere they cherished. After reflecting for a while, an idea sparked. What if they made the lights even more spectacular? With a grin creeping across their face, they decided to transform the ordinary evening glow into something extraordinary. They would upgrade the lighting system completely and sync it to an energetic dubstep track. The vision of colorful beams pulsating to the rhythm made them giddy with excitement. That afternoon, as they began planning this ambitious project, little did they know that what started as a simple complaint would soon turn into a dazzling display that would capture the attention of not just Karen but the entire neighborhood too. As the sun set that evening, the homeowner couldn't shake off the note from their mind. Instead of feeling disheartened by Karen's complaint, a spark of determination ignited within them. They loved their vibrant lights and the joy they brought to their home and neighborhood. Why should they dim their brightness just because one person was unhappy? With each passing minute, excitement bubbled up. The idea of transforming their lighting into something even more spectacular took root. Why not turn the ordinary into extraordinary? The homeowner envisioned a dazzling light show that would sync perfectly to an upbeat dubstep track, filling the air with energy and color. They grabbed a notebook and began drafting plans for what would soon become a fantastic display. With each stroke of the pen, ideas flowed, flashing patterns, rhythmic beats, and colorful bursts that would make the house a beacon of fun. They could create a show that would not only delight them but also bring smiles to everyone who saw it. The thought of Karen's frown turning into awe made them chuckle. Maybe this will change her mind, they thought mischievously. As night fell, they dove into research, excitedly selecting lights and programming sequences. This upgrade would show everyone that sometimes complaints can lead to something surprising and wonderful. Instead of backing down, they were ready to shine brighter than ever before. With the plan set, the homeowner eagerly gathered all the materials needed for their grand project. They spent days installing new LED lights that would illuminate the house like never before. Each light was carefully positioned to create stunning effects, with colors that danced in vivid patterns across the walls and yard. Once everything was in place, it was time for the fun part, synchronizing the lights to an upbeat dubstep track. The homeowner connected everything to a smart system that allowed them to program the lights' movements according to the beat of the music. It was a detailed process, but they relished every moment, experimenting with different sequences and transitions until they found just the right flow. Finally, the big night arrived. As dusk settled over the neighborhood, excitement bubbled within them. With a deep breath, they pressed play on the music, and instantly, the lights burst forth in a brilliant display of color and movement. Each beat sent waves of flashing lights cascading across their home, creating a visual symphony that perfectly matched the rhythm of the energetic dubstep. Neighbors began to gather outside, drawn by the dazzling show that felt as grand as a theme park spectacle. Cheers and laughter filled the air as people pulled out their phones to capture the unforgettable sight. The homeowner stood proudly at their door, watching as their creation transformed an ordinary night into an extraordinary celebration of light and sound. This was truly a moment to shine. Word spread quickly about the dazzling light show, and soon families from nearby blocks began to flock to the homeowner's street. What started as a handful of curious neighbors turned into a small crowd, with people bringing lawn chairs and snacks to enjoy the spectacle. The vibrant colors danced across the house, drawing delighted gasps and cheers from the audience. Children squealed in excitement as they pointed at the flashing lights, while adults pulled out their phones to capture videos of the amazing display. Social media buzzed with posts tagging the homeowner's address, as folks shared clips that showcased the remarkable synchronization between the lights and dubstep beats. Parents remarked how it was better than any theme park light show they had seen. Local news websites even picked up on the phenomenon, featuring articles about the must-see light display that had become a hit in their town. People began driving from neighboring towns just to witness this extraordinary sight for themselves. It became a nightly event, with crowds gathering at dusk, eager to see what colorful surprises awaited them. The homeowner couldn't help but feel a swell of pride as they watched laughter and joy ripple through the crowd. Their decision to enhance their home's lighting not only transformed their own experience but also brought together their community in a fun and exciting way. Little did they know, Karen was still not impressed, but the homeowner was too busy reveling in their newfound popularity to notice her discontent. As the dazzling light show continued to draw crowds each night, Karen's frustration reached new heights. From her bedroom window, she could see the bright colors flashing and hear the upbeat music pulsating through the air. While others were enjoying the spectacle, Karen only felt a growing annoyance that made sleep nearly impossible. "Why can't they just turn it off?" she muttered to herself, tossing and turning in bed. The sounds of laughter and cheers from the gathering crowd outside pierced through her walls, making her feel trapped in an endless cycle of noise. Each time a car slowed down in front of her house, shining headlights through her curtains, she grimaced, wishing for peace. The disruption to her nightly routine was becoming unbearable. She had tried using earplugs and even played soothing music to drown out the noise, but nothing seemed to work. Instead of the quiet evenings she once enjoyed, now every night felt like an unwelcome party right outside her door. Karen decided that enough was enough. She grabbed a pen and paper, ready to write another note to the homeowner. However, deep down, she doubted it would make a difference this time. As she glanced out at the throngs of people celebrating under the lights, she realized that her attempts to reclaim her peace were falling flat against the tide of excitement sweeping through the neighborhood. After yet another sleepless night filled with bright lights and loud music, Karen had reached her breaking point. Frustrated and desperate for relief, she paced around her living room, the sound of laughter and music still echoing through her walls. It was time to take action. She grabbed her phone, feeling a mix of anger and determination. Dialing the local police department, she waited impatiently as the phone rang. When a calm voice finally answered, she wasted no time explaining her situation. "Hello, I'd like to report a disturbance," she said, trying to keep her voice steady. "My neighbor has these bright lights that shine into my bedroom, and they're on late at night with loud music. It's ruining my sleep." The dispatcher listened patiently but soon delivered information that made Karen's frustration boil over. "Ma'am, the lights and music end at 9 p.m. sharp and are within local code regulations," they explained. "Unfortunately, there's not much we can do unless it's after hours or violating any laws." Karen felt her heart sink. She had hoped for some support, a solution to her sleepless nights, but instead, she was left feeling defeated. After hanging up, a new thought crossed her mind: how could she regain her peace? As she gazed out at the colorful spectacle continuing across the street, frustration morphed into resignation. Maybe it was time to consider those blackout curtains after all. After receiving Karen's call, a pair of police officers arrived at the scene, driving slowly down the street to assess the situation. As they approached the homeowner's house, they were greeted by the vibrant lights and rhythmic music that had drawn crowds every evening. The officers exchanged glances, knowing that appearances could often be deceiving. Stepping out of their car, they approached a small group of neighbors happily filming the spectacle. "Is this what the fuss is about?" one officer asked, chuckling at the enthusiastic cheers from the crowd. The lights danced in dazzling colors, creating an atmosphere filled with joy and excitement. The officers then made their way to Karen's house, where she was waiting anxiously. She explained her complaints in detail, emphasizing how the lights and music disturbed her sleep every night. With genuine concern, they listened and took notes. After assessing the situation and reviewing local noise ordinances, the officers returned to Karen with their findings. "Ma'am, we've looked into it, one officer explained kindly. The light show ends at 9 p.m. sharp and is fully compliant with all local laws regarding noise levels and light pollution. Karen felt her frustration mount again as she realized there was nothing they could do to change the situation. The officers offered some light-hearted advice. Maybe it's time to invest in some blackout curtains to help you sleep. With that, they left Karen to ponder her next steps while returning their focus to the cheerful gathering nearby. As the police officers returned to their car, Karen stood on her porch, feeling overwhelmed by a mix of frustration and resignation. She watched as the lights continued to twinkle and pulse in rhythm with the lively music. The joyful sound of laughter floated through the air, making it clear that the neighborhood was enjoying the spectacle, while she felt like an outsider looking in. Blackout curtains, she muttered under her breath, realizing that this suggestion might just be her only option. The idea made her smile slightly at the absurdity of it all. Here she was, battling colorful lights and festive music with a pair of curtains. It felt ridiculous but also oddly humorous. The following day, Karen found herself shopping for blackout curtains at a local home goods store. As she browsed the aisles, she couldn't help but chuckle at how this simple solution had become her best plan against the homeowner's extravagant display. She imagined hanging those heavy drapes over her windows and finally getting a decent night's sleep. When night fell again and the light show began outside, Karen hoisted her new curtains triumphantly into place. As she closed them tightly, she breathed a sigh of relief knowing that tonight would be different. While she still couldn't stop the festivities from happening outside, at least now her room would be a sanctuary away from all the excitement. And so, as laughter filled the air beyond her walls, Karen settled into bed with a smile. Sometimes small solutions could lead to unexpectedly humorous resolutions. As the nights went on, the light show became a beloved community event, drawing families from far and wide. Children giggled in delight, parents captured memories on their phones, and friends gathered to enjoy the vibrant display together. The homeowner had unintentionally created a festive atmosphere that united everyone in joy and excitement. Neighbors began sharing their own experiences and stories about the wonderful gathering sparked by the light show. Block parties were organized, and potluck dinners became a common sight as people celebrated together under the colorful lights. The sense of camaraderie grew stronger with each dazzling performance, highlighting how community spirit could flourish even in unexpected circumstances. Yet amidst this joyful gathering, Karen felt increasingly isolated. While others reveled in the cheerful ambience, she remained a reluctant participant within her darkened home. The cheerful sounds from outside reminded her of her struggle with sleep and peace, making her feel like an outsider in her own neighborhood. Despite her best efforts to adjust with blackout curtains, Karen couldn't help but feel a pang of loneliness as laughter echoed around her. She watched through her windows as neighbors shared moments of connection and happiness, all while she sat silently inside. It became clear that while the light show brought people together in celebration, it also underscored her solitary battle for tranquility. As the community thrived around their nightly festivities, Karen's frustration simmered beneath the surface, leaving her to ponder how to reconcile her desire for peace with the vibrant life unfolding just beyond her curtains. In the end, the story of the homeowner and Karen highlights essential lessons about communication and compromise. While the homeowner's decision to turn their lights into a dazzling show brought immense joy to many in the neighborhood, it also revealed how easily misunderstandings can arise between neighbors. Karen's initial complaint stemmed from a desire for peace, yet it led to a vibrant community celebration that she felt excluded from. Through this experience, it became clear that bright ideas can sometimes illuminate paths toward joy instead of conflict. The homeowner's upgrade not only transformed their space but also fostered connections among families who came together to enjoy the spectacle. However, Karen's struggle underscored the importance of open dialogue and finding balance in shared spaces. As neighbors gathered under the colorful lights, they formed bonds over shared laughter and joy, celebrating the creativity that brightened their nights. Meanwhile, Karen learned to adapt, finding solace in her new blackout curtains while still grappling with her feelings of isolation. This story serves as a reminder that while not every situation may resolve perfectly, there is often room for understanding and compromise. In communities where diverse perspectives coexist, small gestures can lead to unexpected connections. Ultimately, it encourages everyone to seek harmony and celebrate each other's unique contributions, creating an environment where all can thrive together, both in light and in peace.